Have you ever stopped to think about the power that lies in a single word? Imagine that each morning of your life were a blank canvas, and the first word you uttered was the brush that defines the colors, contours, and even the destiny of your day. Now imagine that this word doesn't just influence a few hours, but opens invisible portals that shape your week, your month, and even your entire life. Does that sound exaggerated? What if I told you that even science, spirituality, and the greatest masters of prosperity like Napoleon Hill confirm that what you say when you wake up is like a command that activates or blocks the riches of the universe? The question is, what have you been saying when you open your eyes? Many of us wake up complaining. The first word might be a weary sigh, a damn, and I can't take it anymore, or even an, oh, Monday again. Without realizing it, you've already programmed your mind for scarcity, for resistance, for the energy of lack. Others wake up silent, but their minds already begin to scream internally with worries, bills, debts, family problems, fears, and even without speaking out loud, this internal dialogue also sends orders to the universe. It's as if each word were a secret password that defines the frequency of your vibration. Now imagine waking up and, before even getting out of bed, opening your lips and saying, "Thank you." A simple word, but one that carries within it the vibration of gratitude, which is the most powerful magnet for prosperity. Or saying, "Wealth, abundance, victory." These words become seeds that throughout the day germinate into opportunities, unexpected encounters, creative ideas, new clients, and open doors. The difference lies in understanding that your first word is like the key that unlocks or closes the invisible safe of your financial life. Napoleon Hill wrote that the human mind is capable of attracting what it holds as its dominant thought. And what thought could be more dominant than the one that inaugurated your day? It's like throwing a stone into water. The first word spoken in the morning creates ripples that expand to the horizon. Think about it. If you start every day complaining, you're spreading waves of scarcity, and these waves return to you in the form of unexpected bills, delays, and failed deals. But if you plant words of wealth, life responds in kind. I want you to try something right now. Close your eyes and imagine yourself tomorrow morning, opening your eyes and before anything else, saying the word abundance. See how this word resonates within you. Imagine it as a golden light coming from your mouth and enveloping your entire room, illuminating the walls, objects, and ceiling. This word isn't just sound, it's energy, and energy shapes reality. Throughout this video, I'll show you how to choose the right word, how to strengthen this habit, and how to transform your mornings into a prosperity factory. You'll understand that it's not just about motivation, but a spiritual and mental code that has been used by kings, sages, millionaires, and visionaries throughout history. I'll tell you real stories of people who changed their financial lives simply by changing the first word of the day. And you'll realize that, starting tomorrow, you can reprogram your life for wealth with a simplicity that will surprise you. Before I continue, I want to ask you one thing. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. This gesture further strengthens the energy of abundance, because when you spread prosperity, it returns multiplied. Now stop for a moment and ask yourself, what's been your first word in the morning? This answer may reveal why wealth hasn't yet flowed to you as it could. Have you ever noticed how children, when they wake up, often shout the name of whatever they desire? A toy, a game, even their mother's or father's name. They're not afraid to express what they feel as soon as they wake up. And this is precisely what maintains their energy of vitality, creativity, and in a way, a natural abundance. Over time, we lose this connection and replace the first word of the day with heavy phrases. When adults wake up and mumble, "I'm tired," they forget that this word is like a code that sends an email directly to the universe. Bring me more tiredness. But the opposite is also true. If you wake up and say victory, you're sending the quantum field the message, bring victories to me. And this isn't just a matter of blind faith, but of neuroscience. The human brain reacts instantly to words. Research shows that positive words activate regions linked to pleasure, creativity, and decision-making. This means that a simple word spoken upon waking not only raises your spiritual vibration, but also chemically alters your brain, preparing it to perceive opportunities that would otherwise have gone unnoticed. Napoleon Hill taught that thought combined with emotion becomes magnetism. Therefore, when you say the first word with feeling, it becomes 10 times more powerful. It's not enough to wake up and say wealth automatically. You need to feel wealth vibrating within you. Imagine yourself wrapped in a golden cloak. Visualize bills being paid easily, business flowing, people praising your work, your table overflowing with abundance. It's as if each morning were the opportunity to enter the correct password into the safe of life. I want you to do a simple exercise. Choose today what your first word of tomorrow will be. Write that word on a piece of paper and leave it by your bedside. When you open your eyes, don't let another word come out of your mouth before the one you chose. Say it out loud, firmly, as if you were making a decree, because that's exactly what it is, a decree of prosperity. And make no mistake, even if it seems small, the habit creates such a powerful ripple that after a few weeks, you'll notice changes in your emotional state, in the people you meet, and even in financial opportunities that previously seemed distant. There are people who have transformed their lives simply by changing this key. A woman who worked exhaustedly every day decided to swap her morning, "Oh, I'm so lazy," for "Thank you, God." Within 3 months, she received a job offer with double the salary and much better conditions. A bankrupt businessman began repeating abundance when he opened his eyes, and soon customers began appearing from unexpected places. Coincidence? No. It's the law of attraction working in its purest and most direct form. Remember, the first word is the seed, but it's consistency that transforms the field. Just as a farmer doesn't plant just once and expects an eternal harvest, you need to repeat this gesture every day. It's this repetition that forms the new mental pattern. And here I want to ask you, have you ever tried changing your first word of the day? Let me know in the comments if you've done something similar or if you're going to start today. Share your experience, because by commenting, you reinforce your commitment to prosperity and inspire others. Now, it's important to understand why the first word has such an impact. When you wake up, your brain is still in the alpha state, a mental frequency between sleep and wakefulness. This state is highly receptive to suggestions, similar to the moment of hypnosis or deep meditation. It's at this moment that any word, thought, or image penetrates directly into the subconscious without resistance. In other words, what you say when you wake up doesn't just remain on the surface. It enters directly as a command to your unconscious mind, which in turn controls 95% of your daily actions, emotions, and decisions. Therefore, the first word is more powerful than any hurried prayer in the middle of the day or any emotionless affirmation repeated at night. It is the foundation of your day's edifice. And here comes a profound revelation. Many people don't realize that when they wake up saying, "I'm broke, I'm unlucky, I'm tired," they are hypnotizing themselves into living in scarcity. They are giving their subconscious a direct order. Keep me trapped in this cycle of lack. And the subconscious, obediently, carries out this order without question. But when you wake up and utter words like prosperity, victory, light, wealth, your unconscious begins to seek ways to confirm this command. It opens the eyes of the spirit to new ideas, inspirations, and paths that previously seemed invisible. Napoleon Hill said that desire is the starting point of all achievement. And words are the vehicle that transforms desire into vibration. When you speak a word of power in the morning, you are igniting the flame of desire in the form of sound. It's as if you are saying to the universe, I choose to prosper. And the vibration of this choice begins to attract people, circumstances, and opportunities aligned with your new frequency. I want you to take a practical test. For the next 7 days, when you open your eyes, choose a word of wealth and pronounce it with emotion. It could be abundance, gratitude, wealth, or success. Then, carefully observe what happens throughout the day. Large sums of money may not appear immediately, but you will notice subtle signs. Someone will offer you help. An idea will suddenly emerge. A debt may be renegotiated. A previously closed door will begin to open. These signs are confirmation that your vibration has shifted. And remember, it's not magic, it's alignment. Words awaken an emotional state within you that creates resonance with external reality. If you start the day with negative words, your perception becomes clouded and you don't see solutions. If you start with positive words, your brain releases feel-good neurotransmitters, and this changes your disposition, your communication, and even the way people respond to you. It's as if you entered a game with an advantage because the first play of the day was spot on. Now I want you to reflect. If your financial life were the result of just one word repeated every day when you wake up, which word would you choose? You might be wondering, but how can such a simple word change my financial life if all I have are debts, bills, and real worries? That's where the beauty of this principle comes in. It's not the word alone that creates wealth, but the vibrational state it generates within you. The word is the key that unlocks the door to a higher frequency. Think of it like a password in a bank vault. The vault itself is already full of resources, but it needs the correct password to be accessed. If you try to open it with the wrong password, nothing happens. The first word of the day acts as that password. And there's another detail that few realize. The body also responds to words. When you wake up and say, I'm tired, your body releases more stress-related hormones like cortisol. This lowers your energy early in the day. Now, when you wake up and say, I am rich, or simply wealth, your body responds by releasing dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, neurotransmitters that boost your energy, clear your mind, and increase your motivation. In other words, your body starts working for you. And when body, mind, and spirit are in harmony, the inevitable result is prosperity. Napoleon Hill spoke about the importance of self-conditioning, that is, training the mind to align with success. The first word of the day is the most practical and powerful way to achieve this conditioning. You don't need hours of meditation or complex techniques. You just need to consciously choose what you say. This choice, repeated daily, creates a habit, and habit shapes your destiny. I want you to try another technique. Don't just say the word, but feel it echo throughout the room. When you wake up, speak it out loud and imagine each letter of the word coming out of your mouth like particles of golden light filling the room. If you say abundance, visualize every corner of your home filled with abundance. If you say gratitude, see all the walls reflecting this energy. This simple exercise multiplies the power of the word because it combines emotion, mental image, and sound, creating a triple force. Think about how many times you've started the day complaining. Now imagine if you'd started each of those mornings with words of wealth. Where would you be today? Perhaps with a better home, a more prosperous business, more financial peace. But there's no point in complaining. The power of words is always available. And the good news is that you can start now. Tomorrow is a blank canvas, and the first word you speak will be the paint with which you paint the rest of the picture. And here's a challenge. Choose a single word that will be your word of the week. Don't change it every day because the brain needs repetition to create a pattern. Over these 7 days, observe not only what happens externally, but how you feel internally. Because true wealth begins in the mind and only then manifests itself in the world. There is a secret that many spiritual traditions have guarded for millennia, the power of sound as a creator of reality. In the sacred scriptures, it is written that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. What does this mean? That sound, the Word, is the primordial force that gives form to the invisible. When you understand that every word that comes out of your mouth is a creative spark, you realize that wasting your first word on negative murmurs is like throwing away pure gold first thing in the morning. Now think with me, if even God used words to create worlds, why wouldn't you use words to create your own financial reality? Every morning, you have the opportunity to be a miniature creator. Your mouth becomes the source of your wealth or your poverty. This is why many wise men have always taught mantras, psalms, and morning prayers, not by chance, but because they knew that what is said upon waking sets the vibrational tone for the entire day. Napoleon Hill spoke of the importance of auto-suggestion. He said the mind needs to be fed by constant commands until it believes them as an unshakable truth. The first word is precisely the most powerful auto-suggestion because it is the first seed planted in the garden of consciousness at dawn. And the subconscious, like fertile soil, accepts this seed without resistance. If you plant scarcity, you will reap hardship. If you plant wealth, you will reap prosperity. Imagine tomorrow you open your eyes and instead of saying, "What a tough day," say, "Opportunity." This shift alone changes everything, because by opening yourself to the idea of opportunity, your brain activates the reticular activating system, which acts as a perception filter. This means you'll begin to see things that were previously invisible: contacts, business deals, possibilities. It's as if your mind were a radar, and the word is the frequency adjustment of that radar. If you tune it to problem, you only see problems. If you tune it to wealth, you begin to see wealth. And here's a question for you to ponder. How many times would your life have taken a different turn if you had adjusted your morning word? How many opportunities have gone unnoticed simply because your first word of the day closed your spiritual eyes? I want you to see this as a pact with yourself, a sacred commitment. Never again waste the first word of the morning. From now on, may this word always be a password for prosperity. It could be gratitude, it could be victory, it could be wealth. Choose the one that resonates most with you. And if you'd like to share in the comments, write now what your first word will be tomorrow. By writing, you will be reinforcing this choice before the universe. There's also a little discussed aspect, the energy of collectivity. When you choose your first word in the morning, it not only influences your life, but also impacts those around you. Someone who wakes up saying problem carries this vibration and spreads it at home, at work, on the streets. It's as if releasing invisible particles of negativity that contaminate the environment. Similarly, someone who wakes up saying prosperity expands this energy of light, and those around them begin to feel it even without understanding why. This explains why some individuals seem to naturally attract opportunities and valuable connections. They live in an atmosphere created by their own words. You can observe this in leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries. Almost all of them have a morning ritual that includes power words. Many millionaires don't start their day checking their messages or complaining about the clock. They begin by affirming out loud phrases like, "I am abundant, opportunities surround me, life is conspiring in my favor." It's not superstition, but awareness. They know that the mind needs direction and that if they don't direct it, chaos will follow. I want you to visualize what it would be like if, starting tomorrow, your entire home adopted this habit. Imagine your partner, your children, and your family opening their eyes and saying in unison words like abundance, health, and victory. The vibrational field of that home would transform into a veritable magnet of blessings. Harmony would replace conflict. Opportunities would arise more naturally, and even difficulties would seem smaller in the face of the collective energy of elevated words. And here's an essential detail: consistency. Maybe you'll forget in the first few days, maybe the routine will try to swallow you up. But remember, every habit requires discipline at first, until it becomes automatic. Set reminders on your phone, leave notes stuck to your mirror, set your alarm with the chosen word. Do whatever it takes to never again let the first word slip by chance. Because there is no such thing as chance. Each morning is a new creation, and you are the creator. In the midst of this journey, I want to ask you a direct question. Have you or someone you know ever noticed how the first words of the day affect your mood and even your financial results? Write in the comments. Your answer could spark a new awareness in thousands of people who are also seeking prosperity. When you share, you become a channel of abundance, because prosperity isn't just individual, it's collective. And the more you give positive energy, the more it returns multiplied. Now I want to reveal a secret that can further enhance this habit. Combine the first word with an immediate visualization. When you wake up and say, for example, abundance, don't just say it, but close your eyes for a few seconds and imagine yourself immersed in a scene of wealth. It could be you opening a safe full of money, signing a valuable contract, receiving a call with good financial news, or even enjoying a comfortable life in your dream home. The brain doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imagined, with emotional intensity. So, by combining the word with the image, you create such a vivid experience that your mind begins to work to materialize it in the physical world. This technique has been used by great names throughout history. Champion athletes, even before competitions, would wake up repeating words of victory and visualizing the scene of their conquest. Millionaire business people report starting the day with words that evoked confidence and imagining their goals already achieved. There's no mystery to this, there's science. Words activate emotions, emotions create vibration, and vibration attracts similar realities. But be careful, the wrong word can be as powerful as the right one, only in a negative sense. Those who wake up saying debt are unconsciously visualizing bills, debt collectors, and pressure. Those who wake up saying sadness are sowing the seeds of low energy. That's why you need to be vigilant with your mouth and mind. Remember, the first word can't be the result of chance, but of a conscious decision. Here comes another principle of Napoleon Hill. What the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. To conceive is to imagine. To believe is to feel as real. The first word in the morning, accompanied by visualization, creates this perfect union. It's the point where faith and imagination meet, and when this happens, financial miracles begin to unfold. So tomorrow, when you wake up, choose your word, say it firmly, close your eyes, and see yourself living the reality you desire. Feel the smell, the texture, the colors of this scene. If your word is wealth, see yourself walking into your ideal home, feeling the cool marble floor, observing the gold details, hearing the sound of your family celebrating their achievements. The more realistic you make this scene in your mind, the faster your subconscious will seek ways to make it a reality. And remember, don't expect immediate, large-scale results. Life will test your perseverance, sending you small signs first to see if you truly believe. It could be an unexpected gift, an invitation, a sudden idea. Value these signs, because they are the first fruits of the tree you've begun to water. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have a different glow first thing in the morning? They wake up with energy, enthusiasm, and even a certain magnetism that attracts everything around them. Often it's not coffee or genetics, It's the power of what they say upon waking. These people have learned to program their own vibrational field before even setting foot on the ground. While some start the day complaining about the alarm clock, they begin by declaring victory. While some say, "I don't have the strength," they say, "Today is my day." This small difference, repeated over months and years, turns into a chasm in results between those who live in scarcity and those who thrive. And here comes a hard but necessary truth. If your financial life is stuck today, watch your words. Perhaps you've taken courses, read books, and followed advice, but when you open your eyes daily, you continue to reinforce patterns of scarcity. The first word is like the root of the tree. If the root is rotten, the fruit will not come, no matter how much you water and care for the leaves. But if the root is healthy, the whole tree flourishes. Your first word is the root that nourishes the fruits of prosperity. I want to propose something even more transformative. Choose a word that symbolizes not only material wealth, but also emotional and spiritual wealth. Because money without peace turns into a torment. That's why, when you wake up, you can say balance, harmony, gratitude. When your inner life is organized, external prosperity flows naturally. It's no wonder that people who cultivate gratitude attract more abundance. They already live on a frequency of plenitude, and the universe responds with more reasons to be grateful. Napoleon Hill pointed out that a mind living in harmony is capable of creating more than a tormented mind. The first word is the foundation of this harmony. If you wake up saying chaos, how can you expect a day of order? But if you wake up saying prosperity, how can you not expect your mind to seek solutions and the universe to cooperate? Now, imagine applying this for 30 consecutive days. Imagine waking up every day consciously choosing a word that strengthens your mind and your faith. By the end of this period, you will have reprogrammed not only your mornings, but your entire destiny. People around you will begin to notice the difference. Opportunities will arise, doors previously closed will open. And you will realize that it wasn't bad luck or cruel fate holding you back, but simply the wrong words fueling the wrong reality. And here's an affirmation you can adopt. When you wake up, say out loud, "I am worthy of abundance. I am worthy of prosperity. Today, my life is a fertile field of riches." Repeat these phrases, feel their power, and see how your energy instantly shifts. There's a detail few people understand. The first word doesn't just affect you the moment it's said, but echoes throughout the day like background music. It's like an invisible soundtrack that accompanies your every action. If you say scarcity, the melody that vibrates in your field will be heavy, dense, and will attract situations that confirm this lack. But if you say abundance, the music that resonates within you will be light, prosperous, and will allow your perception to see paths and doors that previously seemed non-existent. This explains why two people often experience exactly the same situation but react completely differently. One wakes up saying, "I can't do it," and the day becomes an unbearable burden. Another wakes up saying, "I can do it," and the same challenge becomes a stepping stone to growth. What changes isn't the problem, but the first words that set the tone for the experience. Napoleon Hill said that a mind dominated by fear cannot act with faith, and fear is almost always the first word many people say upon waking. How many people start their day with, "What if I can't pay the bills? What if nothing goes right? What if everything goes wrong?" These words already program the subconscious to vibrate with fear, and fear paralyzes. In contrast, when the first word is faith, strength, or victory, fear fades. And when faith is the soundtrack of your day, the universe moves toward you. Now imagine creating a morning ritual in which the whole family participates. You wake up, look at your partner or your children, and all together say in a firm voice, "Prosperity." This moment creates a vibrational field so powerful that it feels like a collective prayer. And the more people share the same word, the stronger the energy becomes. This simple act can transform the atmosphere of the entire home and create an environment where abundance becomes inevitable. I want to challenge you to think not only of yourself, but also of those around you. Teach this technique. Share this knowledge, because when prosperity spreads, everyone wins. The universe rewards those who don't keep wealth for themselves, but share it through words, actions, and examples. So reflect. If today were the last day of your life, what would be the first word you would like to utter upon waking? This word reveals your true essence, what you value, what you desire. And if it's wealth, gratitude, or love, know that you're on the right path. Many people believe they need to wait for big events to change their lives. A raise at work, an unexpected bonus, $1 million contract. But true transformation begins with something that seems insignificant, the first word of the day. It's this small daily decision that accumulated builds new paths. Just as a drop of water falling in the same place every day can pierce the hardest stone, the word chosen each morning has the power to crack the walls of scarcity until it tears them down completely. And here's what many overlook. Prosperity doesn't happen by chance. It's attracted by a trained mind. And training the mind is precisely choosing what it will hear first. When you wake up and say, "Thank you," you're training your mind to notice reasons for gratitude throughout the day. When you say wealth, you're training your mind to look for signs of wealth in the simplest situations. When you say victory, even before facing the battles, you're already positioning yourself as a winner. This isn't illusion, it's preparation. Napoleon Hill warned that the most common failure is waiting for the perfect moment to act. But perfection doesn't exist. What exists is the power to create a new beginning with each dawn. And that beginning begins with words. The first word is the seed of a new destiny. If you choose to sow it every day, you will inevitably reap the rewards. I want you to create a ritual now. Before you go to sleep, decide what your word for the next day will be. When you wake up, say it loudly and feel its impact. Write it down in your journal. Stick it on your bathroom mirror. Repeat it throughout the day. And most importantly, observe the results, because they will come, sometimes subtly, sometimes surprisingly, but they will come. And remember, wealth isn't limited to money. Wealth is peace, health, joy, and freedom. And when you start your day calling out to it, it responds. So, make a pact with yourself. Never again waste the first word of the morning complaining or lamenting. From today on, your mornings will be a portal to abundance. Now I want you to comment here. What will be your first word tomorrow? Share it with everyone, because by writing, you're already activating this decree in the universe. And by inspiring others, you further reinforce the energy of prosperity in your own life. You might be thinking, but isn't this too simple? Can just one word change my life? The truth is, the greatest secrets to prosperity always lie in simplicity. People often look for complex formulas, expensive courses, and far-fetched strategies, when in reality, what truly transforms are small habits repeated every day. The first word is one of those habits. It's the starting point of the gears that set everything else in motion. When you start your day with a powerful word, you shift your vibrational state. And when your vibrational state shifts, your actions shift. You start making more confident decisions, speaking with more energy, and seeing solutions where you previously only saw obstacles. This attracts new circumstances, people, and opportunities. It's a ripple effect. A simple word can change an action, which changes an outcome, which changes an entire destiny. Napoleon Hill said that success is the sum of small efforts repeated daily. The first word is the first effort, the spark that ignites the flame. Without this spark, you may have good intentions, but the engine of prosperity won't start. With it, you start a process that cannot be stopped. Now imagine 6 months from now. You wake up every day and consciously choose your first word. Imagine what your emotional life, your energy, your motivation will be like. Imagine how people around you will begin to notice your change, how doors will open, how business opportunities will emerge. Imagine how you will look back and realize that the great transformation came not from something external, but from within, from a simple decision. No longer to hand over your first word to chance, but to transform it into a decree of abundance. And remember, every morning is a rebirth. Every dawn is an opportunity to create a new life. The first word you speak is like the first brick in the construction of this new world. So choose wisely, because that word defines not only your day, but the entire path you will follow. I want you to make a commitment right now. Write it somewhere visible. The first word in the morning defines my wealth. Read it every night before you go to sleep and every morning when you wake up, until it becomes a part of you. We've reached the end of this journey, and now you understand. The first word you say in the morning isn't just any sound, but a decree, a password, a command that shapes the vibration of your day and, in time, your entire life. If until now you've wasted your mornings lamenting, know that it's never too late to start over. Tomorrow is the most powerful blank page the universe gives you, and the pen that writes this page is on your lips, in your conscience, in your heart. Starting today, choose wisely. Select words that reflect what you wish to attract: abundance, wealth, victory, gratitude, love. Say them in a firm voice. Feel the impact. Visualize the scene unfolding before you. This practice requires no money, no time, no external conditions. It simply requires decision, and the decision is in your hands, or rather, in your mouth. Napoleon Hill always said that thoughts are things, and I add, words are thoughts in motion. The first word you speak is the thought that takes flight, that vibrates, that attracts, that builds. Don't underestimate the power of a word, because it can be the bridge between your current reality and the prosperous life you dream of. Now I want you to be part of this abundance pact. In the comments, write what your first word will be tomorrow. By writing, you not only affirm to yourself, but also send your decision to the universe. And remember, each comment is a seed planted in the field of collective prosperity. If this video spoke to your heart, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. This is the way to spread this message and multiply abundance in the world. And by sharing, you reinforce in your own life the energy of generosity, which always returns multiplied. May your first word tomorrow be the password that unlocks the doors to wealth. May each morning become a ritual of creation. And may you never forget, the power is within you, always has been, and begins every day with the first word that comes out of your mouth. Because in the end, life is a reflection of what you say, what you feel, and what you believe. And if you choose to start each morning with words of wealth, you will inevitably live a life of wealth.